Hey everyone, it's Laurel with Gel and with Laurel, your independent distributor for GelMoment. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a wintry night with lacy night as a base coat. On my nails, I think I used 3 coats of lacy night to get the opaque look that I needed, and I think on the nail sticks I did 4 coats. I'll be using 3 different colors to make the borealis. The first one here, the Madame L, and then Emerald Envy. And what I'm going to do with all of these colors is I'm going to add a little bit of white, which is the lovey-dovey or the meet me at the chapel. I've used the lovey-dovey. And the third color here, Underwater Haze. So I'm going to add the white color just to kind of give them a little bit more pastel-y look. So you have the option to have a little bit of the pastel look in the borealis or a really strong color. So I'm only going to kind of mix half of them with each other, if that makes sense. So I'm putting the lovey-dovey down. Sorry, my bottle's a little bit empty. I'm also putting a separate spot for some lovey-dovey to do the snowflake and a little bit of the detail art. Now to mix all these colors together, if you have the creativity set, which hopefully you do, grab one of your dotting tools, kind of a medium-sized dotting tool, as well as a flatliner brush. So the flatliner brush, you're just going to mix the white color in with the actual color and make those colors a little bit more pastel-like. Then what you want to do is just sporadically, actually, there's no rhyme or reason to it, grab your flatliner brush and lightly put on a couple of the different colors. And you want to try not to make them blend in together. You want to have different colors so it looks like borealis shooting through the sky. It does not have to be perfect as it is the background. And you don't want to cover the whole nail. You're just doing it as an accent. So you might get carried away with it. I think I have in this particular instance, but yeah. So once you have it so you think that you're going to be okay with it, then put it in your LED lamp, 45 seconds if you have the professional or the deluxe lamp, and 60-second cure if you have the mini lamp. I wanted to have a design that had the borealis in the background because I think it's so beautiful. But I wanted to put a bunch of trees and whatnot in it too, so I didn't want the background to take away from the trees as well. So that's why I haven't made the borealis very defined, I guess you could say. Here I'm going off the camera. I am so sorry about that. Sometimes it happens. But it's basically doing the same thing as the other 2 nails. You're just sporadically grabbing different colors, the more pastel ones, and grabbing the darker ones for a little bit more definition, and just dragging it down so it looks like there's a little bit of borealis in the sky. And then make sure to give that a full cure, 45-second or 60-second, depending on the lamp that you're using. Then we're going to use some jasmine cherry. The jasmine cherry is just basically going to be a background for the tree. So wherever you want to put your trees, you want to put the jasmine cherry down. You don't want to go like a raven's kiss because then that's too dark. And then it takes away from the background of the borealis, because if you're looking at a tree, in most cases, you can see through the tree. It's not going to be completely black. So that's why I chose the jasmine cherry. So you just put that on top, and again, give it a full cure, 45 or 60-second, depending on the lamp that you're using. I'm doing 2 trees in this demonstration, so I am grabbing some more jasmine cherry and I am putting it on this nail as well, and I'm going to give this nail a full cure also. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, you just want a little bit of a dark background. You want to be able to see the borealis in the background. You want to see any of the lacy night that might be in the background as well. And once you have it so it's looking a little bit opaque, a little bit translucent, if that's such a thing, throw that in the lamp as well for a 45 to 60 cent cure. So the next thing that we're going to do is the one finger that just has the snowflakes on it. You want to try and rough up the surface a little bit, just because we're going to be dragging the polish across, and the gel polish doesn't, it'll run off the nail more than it will stick on it, especially gel polish. Gel polish is really runny. So you're just going to use your dotting tool. You're going to do one center dot like that. And then you're going to do 2 dots on either side of that center dot. You want to move fairly quickly because gel polish runs. Then you're going to make an X. You're going to put 2 dots on the opposite part. And then you're going to do 1 singular dot in between the X. Then you want to grab your small liner brush and you're going to drag from the center out to the end. You want to try and have a steady hand, maybe not like shaky like me. And also because the gel polish runs fast, and because the liner brush could fray out, I always keep a cleanser pad or a remover pad with me, just to keep the bristles wet and pointed when it comes to fine art like this, because if the bristles fray out just a little bit, it's going to make your design pretty difficult to do. So just keep it cleaned off with the gel polish and just drag out those snowflakes. Sorry, off camera again here, but pretty sure you get the idea. So because I don't want to have my white paint running while I'm doing the detail artwork of the tree and the rocks, I'm going to use the gel polish, the lovey-dovey, but I'm also going to use the stamping gel from GelMoment in the white. So what this is going to do is it's going to thicken up the gel polish. It's too thick to use by itself, but if you mix it with the gel polish, then it gives it a little bit more opaque and thicker consistency, so you're able to do a little bit finer detail. The only bad thing about it is the stamping polish dries quickly. The gel polish will slow down that process a little bit, but it still will try and dry on you. So to do the trees, look for your shadowed spot that you made with the jasmine cherry, and you're just going to do little V shapes coming down in the shapes basically of tree art that we used to do pretty much in elementary school. The only difference here is you're going to take some of that polish and bring it and drag it down, so it looks like it's a full tree with a bunch of branches. Now, to make this a lot easier, you could sand it down with the buffing block before you put on the tree. In case you didn't see in the video there, it was kind of like a little bit bumpy, I guess you could say, to try and drag the tree down, the tree branches down. So if you gave it a light buffing in between before you put the tree detail on, you're not going to have that problem. And we're going to encase this all in clearly frisky later. So yeah, I mean, I probably should have buffed it up like I did with the snowflake, but I didn't. I was kind of in a rush doing this video. So again, we're just doing another tree, same as before. just a couple of V's down, and then we are going to use our brush and just pull that polish down just a little bit to make it look like snow on branches. What about you guys? Have you come up with any Christmas ideas yet for your nails this year? I'd love to see them. You can definitely post it in the comments below. And speaking of comments, if you're liking my videos and you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get current content when it comes available. So you want to give those trees a full cure, 45 to 60 seconds, depending on the lamp that you have. Now, what we're going to do is make the tiny little snowflake at the tip of the nail here. So basically, all you're going to do with this one is put one singular dot down with the dotting tool, then grab your liner brush again, and you're going to want to drag out just in four areas, all opposite of each other, from the center to make that little star. And then just like the others, you want to put it in for full cure. Now I have one nail that we haven't done anything with yet, and I'm just going to basically make some landscape. So I'm grabbing the smaller part of one of the dotting tools, and I'm just grabbing some white and making some stars. Now I'm going to drag the liner brush across just sporadically. We're making rocks. We're making a landscape here, so it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. If it's perfect, it's not going to look good. So here's a trick. You can go to your local Walmart or dollar store or wherever and pick yourself up some isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, whatever. This one's great because it has a little pump. So when I pump it, there's some alcohol that just sits in the tray. So I'm dipping my brush in the tray of alcohol, and what it's going to do is dilute the gel polish. Because the stamping polish is a little bit thicker, it does not want to move. So using the rubbing alcohol, it dilutes the polish or the gel stamping pad or gel stamping, the stamping gel. Oh my God, that stuff that comes out of the stamping gel tube. Stamping gel. It will dilute the stamping gel for you, so it's a little bit easier to move. Now, these are cured out of the lamp, so I'm going to put a couple of stars in the sky, or snowflakes, whatever. I'm thinking that they're stars. I mean, some people might think that they're snowflakes. I don't know. Whatever. It makes it look pretty. And yeah, then you're going to do your rock landscape just like you did before, and you're going to sporadically just kind of drag the liner brush across the nail in different spots. And the further away it is, so if you were to look at it and it looks like it's more in the background, you want less white, you want less polish, because if it's in the background, it's fading out and it's not as predominant. So anything that is a little bit closer to you, you want that more predominant, if that makes sense. And same thing, you're just using that rubbing alcohol and you're diluting those lines a bit, and you want to drag down. You want to make sure that the top of the lines are still white, so it looks like there's still snow sitting on top of those lines. You just want to drag down. You don't want to drag. You want to make sure that there's that solid line still intact or mostly intact. Then you're going to want to do a full cure. And then again with the last tree here, we're going to do exactly the same. We're just going to put a couple of stars in the sky and then do some landscaping. I have seen some amazing GelMoment nail art for Christmas this year. Kudos to all of the girls that have been showcasing their art. It's fantastic, and you know, the the talent out there for nail art is amazing. So for me, now that the lake is shut down for the summer and it's the winter, I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands. So tell me in the comments below, what kind of video would you like to see next? Challenge me. It doesn't have to be nail art. It can be anything GelMoment. Just give me a comment, let me know, and I will make it happen. So just like the other nails, once you are done with the landscaping, you want to give it a full cure. You want to give it a full cure because if you don't give it a full cure, once you put the Clearly Frisky on, the white's going to drag down and ruin your whole design. So here I'm just grabbing our smallest dotting tool. You can get really tiny dots with this dotting tool. And I'm just putting the tiniest little dots in the skies of all of the sets of nails, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth, to have those, you know, really frontal, larger stars, and then, you know, the further away, really tiny, small stars. And you just want to make sure that you do it with all of the nails that you're doing, so you have that depth of far away and close up. And then to finish it all off, you're going to top all of the nails off with a coat of Clearly Frisky. Clearly Frisky, like even if your art doesn't look that great, you put a top coat of Clearly Frisky on and it just brings it all together. It's an amazing way to encase your art, to protect it, and it makes it look 100% better. Clearly Frisky is definitely something that you want to have as a must-have in your kit, especially if you want to do nail art. So while those are curing for their 45 to 60 seconds, depending on the lamp, I'm using the premium lamp, so 45 seconds. I'm just going to do a quick cleanup of the creativity mat, and this mat is fantastic. You can use one of the cleansing wipes that you use to clean off your nail plate, or you could just use some rubbing alcohol and some paper towel and just give it a quick wipe to clean off all of the paint. This silicone mat is fantastic for nail art. It's pretty much a must-have if you want to get into nail art. It's the best thing. It's going to protect your surface from any spills or anything that might be damaging to the surface of your workspace. And you don't necessarily need the silicone mat. You can use a wax paper or parchment paper, but they're slippery and they can be frustrating. The silicone mat's going to sit heavy on your workspace and it's not going to move anywhere, and it's going to be very protective. So here's our finished product. Just going to line them up so you can see the difference of my fingernail to the ones that I did for you. So that was the stars, and then all of these are the actual winter scene that we did with the landscape and the borealis background. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Please, again, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more nail art and more content. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.